Hey everybody, it's Adam from the Saddle House. I've got your Corona tip for today. We're going to talk about how to get the most out of your tack and how to take care of your tack while you've got a little extra free time in between cleaning stalls and riding horses while we're all stuck at home. So the first thing we're going to do is look at your saddle. We're going to go through everything, make sure it's all in good repair and you don't have anything that's going to break on you when you're doing your reining pattern or going down the fence. So the first thing I normally want to look at is your latigos and your off billets. Make sure there's no cracks or tears. Make sure it's soft and pliable on both sides. On your latigo, your tie there will sometimes start to give out, or you'll have little cracks in your latigo. So make sure that's all in good repair and supple, because it's a lot cheaper to spend $30 or $40 on a new latigo than it is to fall off in the show pen. Next thing I want to look for is make sure your rigging's all in good repair. Make sure everything isn't worn or have any holes in it. Also check your stirrup leathers. Make sure your Blevins buckles are in good repair. A lot of the time this leather piece will start to wear, and then that can rub on your latigo and break that down as well. Also, you want to check your rivets that are up here underneath this seat jockey. Make sure your rivets and your stitching are good. That's a pretty easy fix. Those eventually start to give out over time too. Another common problem is if you have the better quality wood stirrups, they always have like a nut right here that holds them all together, that eventually they all fall out sooner or later. So you can actually just buy the nut from Nettles or wherever, Don Orell, and replace them when they fall out, if they do fall out. You can also replace your Blevin slide that's right on your stirrup leather. That's an easy fix too. It's like a $3 or $4 part that can give you a lot of extra life on your saddle. Next thing you ought to do, every now and then just clean it, dust it off, keep it in good shape. I like to use Leather New to get all the dust off. I normally just dust it off with something like some sheepskin first, dust it all off, and then once I got all the dust off, hit it with a coat of Leather New, let that sink in, buff it off, and then my favorite stuff is the Skidmores, and after I hit it with some saddle soap, I'll go over it with Skidmores and then buff that off as well. And it's always easier to clean your saddle once a month, every other month, before it ends up getting all caked in mold and mildew and dirt. And if you do get the mold like we do down here in South Texas, you can either mix some lemon juice or some vinegar with water, wipe it down, and then clean it like you normally would, and that ought to get rid of a lot of this mold and mildew. But it's best to stay on top of that, because once it starts to spread, you'll have it on all your tack, and it's a nightmare once you get there. On your work gear, the best thing to do is just take care of it. Go through and make sure all your ties are good. Make sure your reins aren't breaking at the water loops if you use split reins. Same thing for up here on your headstalls where your bit attaches to your headstall. Make sure those ties are good. Sometimes they stretch out. And if you do need to replace the ties on your water loops on your reins, that's an easy fix. You can pick up a pack from the feed store for just a couple bucks, and that'll save you the pain and embarrassment of having a rein break while you're in the show pen or getting in a wreck. If you've got a hackamore, it's best to untie your Makati if you're not going to be showing in it or you're not going to be riding in it for a little while. Just untie it, fold it in kind of a loose coil like this, and hang it up so you don't get those kinks in it. It'll make your rope last a lot longer if you do that too. When you actually go to clean your hackamore, you can use saddle soap, something like Leather New or saddle soap. Wipe it all down, and then go over it with something like the Vaquero cream, and you can just goop it on there real liberally. Goop it on there, let it soak in. It helps if you put it out in the sun or somewhere warm. Give it a couple days to soak in, and you'll be good to go on that. And a little bit of care on your hackamore will save you a lot of money in the future. And your rawhide romels, same kind of thing. If they're really, really dirty, have a lot of cake and dirt, have a lot of sweat and dirt caked on them, you can clean it with something like Leather New, wipe them down with some sheepskin or a soft rag, get all that dirt off, and then same thing, go over them pretty liberally with the Vaquero cream, or Jay Adcock makes a real good one as well. There's some different products you can use, but that will keep your reins soft and supple from drying out. You also need to go through them and make sure all your connectors are good. A lot of the times these little rawhide connectors will just wear, especially down here where they attach to the bit. These little parts will give out sooner or later. And so make sure those are in good repair. If you need to, you're afraid of fixing them or buying a new pair, you think you'll have to buy a whole new set, you can actually just get the connectors. You can get leather ones, or you can get just the rawhide ones, but that'll save you from having to get a whole new pair of reins. And if you take care of your romels, they should last you for forever. When you're going through all your bridles, make sure you have all your Chicago screws tight and in working order. Again, that'll save you from getting in a wreck while you're going in the show pen or down the fence. And just clean everything while you have time. Same thing if you've got kangaroo romels. A lot of people ask, how do you clean your kangaroo romels? You can go just warm water. You could use Dawn dish soap or Leather New or some sort of saddle soap. Clean off the sweat and the dirt off the kangaroo, and then you can put some Vaquero cream or something like that on the actual rawhide. Another thing to look out for, your show blankets. A lot of people aren't sure how they can clean these. It's pretty simple. They all get real grungy and dirty on the inside. You can kind of brush them off if you want to. Get as much loose hair out of there as you can. And a lot of dry cleaners will actually clean those for you. So clean them up as much as you can. Take them into the dry cleaner. It's normally about $20 or $30. And that'll keep those show blankets looking good so you're not replacing them all the time. And then another big one, which everybody is probably bad about, cleaning your work pads at home, your saddle blankets. Best thing to do, just curry them, get all the loose hair off, and you can pressure wash them. Take them to a car wash and pressure wash them with just water. That'll help keep them lasting a long time for you. And then your cinches as well. You can actually just soak these in some water with some woolite or with some horse shampoo. Then hit them with the hose and then hang them up by the buckle or lay them flat and let them dry. But I think that's most of what I would be doing right now after I rode my horse, cleaned my stalls, ran out of things to buy online. I'd go hit up the tack room and start cleaning so your tack will last you a long time. And if you take good care of it, it'll take care of you. Thanks for watching. Bye.